What's up, guys? Kanato64 here, and I do want to say I'm sorry for not really been posting videos a whole lot and all that. Some stuff has just been, going on. And also, if you can tell, this is basically What If Deku was Catnap. If y'all know, Catnap is from Poppy Playtime, Chapter 3, I believe. Yeah, it's chapter 3. And, basically his ability is this red gas, what can make people fall asleep, but with some side effects. One of the side effects is basically horrible nightmares. Another side effect, if I believe correctly, is before you actually fall asleep, you start to laugh kind of crazily and run like you're on a sugar rush. And another part of the side effects of his ability is I think it's like if you inhale enough of it, it can, kill you. So yeah. So let's just start it. We start at a park with Bakugo bullying two people. Calling one of them, saying one of them has a useless quirk and the other one a so-called villainous quirk. As this is going on, we see Zuko trying to find Bakugo. But what he sees is, because he wants to know why Bakugo is starting to become how he is ever since he got his quirk. Like, he still thinks him and Bakugo are still friends, even if he hasn't got his quirk yet, and he's already 5 years old. And all that. So, what he sees, he just runs and gets in front of Bakugo and his goons. Gachan, what are you doing? Get out my way, Daku. I'm just showing these worthless pebbles their place. That's not right. That's nothing what a hero would do. And of course, Bakugo saying all these mean, terrible things. And it kinda... Izuku knows he's not a person to get angry. But what he is saying to the two people who's behind him, these two girls, he doesn't like it. Not at all. So, when he calls Bakugo, he's acting like a villain. Bakugo doesn't like that. He charges at Izuku. But when Izuku starting to get afraid, something happens. Right when Bakugo is close to Izuku, this weird red gas is coming out of his mouth and his hands. He's not really sure. He's too afraid to think. And when Bakugo inhales it, out of nowhere, he just starts to giggle. And then he starts to giggle a little bit until he faints in the red mist because Bakugo inhaled a little bit of it. Right? He inhaled it right when he tried to blast Izuku. And when his little explosion went off, basically just like a little bitty firecracker, it, well, yeah, it kind of made the smoke go away a bit. And when this was happening, the two girls, hug him. Like, they basically, sorry about that. They, thank him and all that, and that's no problem. Izuku looks at these two girls, one with brunette hair and hazelnut eyes, and these what looks like blushes on her cheeks, and the other girl with blonde hair, kind of similar to Bakugo's, but into two buns, into two round buns, and what look like small little fangs. Sorry, my name's Izuku. Izuku Matoya. I'm glad you're two okay. Oh. My name's Ochako Uraka. My name, the other girl, who is kinda shy a bit, seems like. My name's Himiko Toga. It's nice to meet y'all two. But what Izuku did not know, from these two girls, they would become his greatest friends for a while. As the day goes on, as he plays with, as they play heroes, as, sometimes they would switch to hero and villain, as Izuku's having fun playing with Uraka and Toga. He's having fun until he has to go home. But when he gets home, his mom tells him, well, Izuku, yes, Mom? Tomorrow we're going to the doctor to see about why your quirk is coming in late. Okay. Hey, I'm not sure if it was my quirk, but Kachan was trying to attack new friends that I made, and this weird red gassy substance stuff I think it came out of me. Oh. Inko is kinda shocked and looks a little bit afraid of that. Are you sure, sweetie? Yes, I am, Mom. Okay. We were gonna go to the doctor's tomorrow. Okay. As the next day, Izuku goes to the doctor's, has to do all, the test and all that. And as he is sitting with his mother, well, the doctor sits down. Whew. I have good news and bad news. Inko's like, what's the good news? Uh, well, the good news is your son has a quirk. Oh, Izuku's like, yeah, that's awesome. But the bad news is, it seems like it comes from... Before we go on, what is yours and your husband's quirks? Well, I have a small, I can pull small objects towards me. And my husband has a fire-breathing quirk. I see. Do you know anything about your mothers or your fathers are on his side of the family? Well, I do know, my father had a gas quirk, and if I remember correctly, Hisashi's uncle, well, my husband's uncle had what do you call it? I wouldn't really call it like a nightmare quirk. Oh, some type of hallucination quirk. Was basically from my husband's uncle. What's wrong? It seems like your son has got similar quirks to one of your parents and your husband's brother type quirk, but was also connected from your husband's mother's side of the family. It sees here your husband's mother had a dream quirk what can create dreams, but his father had a flame quirk, and his brother had a hallucination type quirk. By combining 3 types of quirks into one person, making a type of what are you saying, doctor? Basically, I'm saying your son has a very, very dangerous quirk. How dangerous? Well, if I gotta say through 1 through 10, and 10 is the highest, one of the abilities what I have found what your son has is by testing from the blood cells and the gas, it can make people fall asleep, what is one of the base of the quirk. Another one is to create like hallucination nightmares, and also it could also make people laugh themselves to death. And the dangerous one, what is a full on 10, it can kill someone in an instant. Inko and Izuku's in shock. Inko is a little afraid. Okay. Well, we can just call this, well, I have a perfect idea for this. We can call it night sleep. Maybe not. Izuku's just thinking. Wait, what about the cat? The doctor and his mother look at him. What do you mean? Well, in my dreams, there's this little purple cat. What I see in my dreams. What? Oh, that is strange. Maybe there's. I'm not 100% sure, but there might be more to his quirk. But for right now, we just has the red mist. But if there are more changes for him, you might want to come back and fill out, the application to the Qurk files. Yes, doctor. As, they leave, as everything is going on. Okay, Izuku? Yes, Mom? Don't tell people what your quirk can actually do, alright? What do you mean? I mean how it can drive people. Just tell them it can make people fall asleep. Like the hero Midnight? Yeah. Just say it's similar to her quirk. Should I not? That means I'll be lying about part of my quirk. How it can create nightmares and make people giggle, I guess. But right before, Inko also remembers something else. What the doctor said to her when they were leaving. I'm not 100% sure, but some quirks can change someone's personality. I have seen it a couple of times in my life. Okay, just be careful. As that night is going on, as Inko puts Izuku to sleep, Inko calls Asashi as it rings a couple times. Hey, honey. Inko, how have you been? How you doing how are you doing working at Island? Well, the US ain't that bad. I just have work to do. I've been pretty busy, sorry I haven't called. So, last time I checked, you was gonna take Izuku to the quirk doctor. How did that go? Well, he has a quirk, okay, but he has a type of... It's a mixture of my father's gas quirk and your brother's hallucination and your mother's nightmare, all into one. Oh, yikes. I see. Do I need to... I can create some type of support gear or he... No. I don't really know what to do, Asashi. I know. I'll figure something out. Okay. Maybe I can create some type of support gear where can help do something with the gas, because by those definitions of what you just told me, his quirk can kill someone. Yeah. And I told him just to tell people he can make people fall asleep. Like midnight. Oh, that hero. One thing what I do find funny is she completely changed the hero costume changes. Because I remember how her costume was back in the day. But it was for her quirk, but it says, well, the quirk kind of comes mostly from his mouth, but it can come from other places, like it mostly comes out of his mouth, but the doctor also said it can come, but it can also kind of work as similar as Midnight's quirk. I see. So it's also kind of like the mutation of how I can breathe fire. Yeah, but instead of instead of fire, it's a toxin. It's a type of smoke toxin. I see. After that hangs up, what they do not know was Izuku was listening the whole time, realizing how dangerous his quirk can actually be. He needs to experiment to write down everything about his quirk. But what can he do it with? As he hangs out with, as some time passes, as he hangs out with Himiko and Uraraka, Uraraka and Toga, they're having fun until Uraraka has to go home and Toga and Izuku are playing along. As that happens, when Izuku's laughing, like they were messing around, playing, giggling, laughing, until Izuku's quirk accidentally activated as this red smoke started to come out of his mouth. And what happened was Himiko accidentally inhaled a few bit of it, started to giggly crazily, and Zuko's like, Himiko? And he sees her eyes glazed over. He just realized did he use his quirk again like he did on Kachan? But before she can fully pass out and fall to the ground, he catches her, tries to wake her up. When a few minutes go by, she wakes up. She wakes up screaming and tears in her eyes. Izuku? Izuku starts to cry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to happen. As he starts to have a small panic attack and feels his heart kind of clamps up, thinking he's gonna lose. People going to be afraid of him. As Himiko calms him down, Izuku explained how his quirk works and how dangerous it can be. He can kill someone so easily by them breathing in his gas. Well, a whole gassed of it, like a whole a whole big jug can kill someone. Like 10 times over. As Himiko hears this, she also explains what her quirk is, transformation, but the only way it can work by is ingesting someone's blood. When Izuku hears this, he thinks the quirk is awesome. Izuku starts to think his quirk is a curse, as he thinks everyone else's quirks is a blessing. Like, he finds all quirks amazing, as Izuku's blabbing on about how Toga's quirk is awesome, how it can be used for being a hero and all that, and such and such stuff, As she starts to giggle, it's like, oh, did I use my quirk again? No. You're just a dork. As the time when Izuku is around 8 years old, Uraraka and Toga move away. But before Toga and Uraraka move, they all three make a promise to see each other again. And as the promise, Toga does a small little prank, putting her blood into Izuku and Uraraka's drink, and they sip from the same cup. Yep, it goes like that. And when they say, it's like, this kind of tastes a little funny, as Himiko just falls on the ground laughing, and she explains what she did, or Ochako is kind of horrified, but Izuku's like, you didn't. Wait, Izuku's like, that basically means we can't break this promise. With Izuku's logic. Ochako's like, oh really? As those two move away, time goes on. As Izuku is, I'm gonna say Bakugo. Yeah, Bakugo overhears, his mom and his aunt Inko talking about Izuku's quirk and how dangerous it is around a little bit before they get into middle school. So through Izuku's last year of, I want to say probably preschool or something, before they get into middle school. Yeah, Izuku's life starts to go down to hell. Of course, he hides the scars from his mom, what Bakugo gives him, and all that. And of course, with time goes on, a lot of stuff would kind of happen as it would in canon, like Toga, without her best friends, starts to kind of go insane, because she remembers how Izuku would sneakily feed her his blood because of her quirk. And she was kind of addicted to it. But because how her parents are, she would kind of do the same thing as she did in the anime, in the manga, attacking someone and drinking their blood from a straw, But with the Uraraka, she will, her family business will kind of stop, working as much, and that's why she had to move to somewhere cheaper. And yeah. So let's go with some stuff. As the same thing, Izuku he wants to go to UA, and yeah. Teacher walks into the classroom, says, I got some tests for y'all gotta do, throws them in the air. But forget about that, I know all of y'all want to take the hero course. As everyone does their quirk out. And basically, Bakugo, you already know how it goes. Bakugo just being a fucking arrogant piece of shit. Just being honest here. And yeah, when they find out Izuku wants to go to UA, Bakugo blows his desk up and just calls him a villain. And of course, after that day, what would happen would change Izuku's life forever. On this particular day, after being attacked, as he is trying to cheer himself up, and then being attacked by that sludge villain, and also All Might telling him his quirk is dangerous if it can kill someone by just someone inhaling it, he should not be using it at all. And All Might leaves. But this is when his life would become different. Like, nothing has really changed, but throughout his life, that little purple cat over the years started to become more bigger and more scarier when in his dreams. But as he sees explosions coming up, it's like, where am I? Did I walk to a villain fight subconsciously? And all that, he goes to go check it out, and yeah, what he sees is the sludge villain attacking Bakugo. He sees the heroes doing nothing at all. And something just snaps. He rushes out to grab Bakugo, and he's trying to grab Bakugo out, trying to save him, and when Bakugo says what, but, I can't just watch you die. As the sludge villain grabs him before All Might can do anything, because Izuku got scared, this red mist coming out of his body, and something in his head says, kill them all. Wish they never tortured us. And in his mind, he can see the caged up purple cat clawing its way out of the cage. It is time for my full power. As Izuku's his green eyes turn white, and the white in his eyes become black. and out of nowhere, a weird sadistic smile opens up, and all you see is like this black kind of like void, kind of what you see on, Catnap, and smoke, just this red smoke, and goes all over, the district of where, where the villain is and all that. Like the civilians, the heroes, the sludge villain, out of nowhere, they just start screaming in agony. Like, the civilians fall asleep, the heroes fall asleep. The last couple ones to be awake is All Might, and the sludge villain is just dead. Bakugo is passed out, not dead, but very close. As Izuku's just standing there, letting all the smoke out, until All Might, with one hand covering his mouth and the other one ready for Detroit Smash, blows all the smoke away, changes the weather, and Izuku goes through a wall. All Might. Before Izuku kind of starts to transform back, with his eyes going back to normal. And that is where we will leave part 1 off here. And I do hope y'all, enjoy this video. And see y'all on the flip side.